Hello, my dear students. So, we are continuing with the lesson biological classification. In this session, we will be studying about the classification of fungi. So, we have understood the introduction regarding the kingdom fungi. Fungi, we know that they are completely heterotrophic and they are found everywhere. You know, you can see in the air, or you can see in the water, or you can also see in the rotten fruits and vegetables. And fungi, by nature itself, their nature itself, they have a hyphae, right? You know, understood about the hyphae and mycelium. Their bodies consist of units of hyphae that when hyphae combines together, they form the mycelium. And based on the mycelium structure, they can be septate or aseptate. They can be called as cenocytic hyphae and they are also called as multinucleated hyphae. So in this session, let us continue the fungi, their reproduction as well as nutrition. As we know that fungi, another characteristic feature is that the cell wall is made up of chitin. The cell wall is made up of chitin. Then chitin is a polymer of N-acetyl glucosamine. This is not required for you, but chitin is a polysaccharide. Okay, so this chitin can also be seen in arthropods. But in arthropods, it is hard. But in fungus, it is little softy and leathery kind of structure. Now next, we'll understand how this fungus undergo nutrition. Okay, yeah, it is a chitin as well as, its cell wall is also consists of chitin and polysaccharide. So fungal cell wall is made up of chitin and polysaccharide. Let us understand now heterotrophic. You know that nutrition in fungi. So nutrition in fungi is completely heterotrophic. They are not autotrophic. So there are three modes of heterotrophic nutrition is there in fungus. And you know what's the meaning of heterotrophic nutrition means? Heterotrophic nutrition means the nutrition or which nutrition in which they depend on other organisms. For example, we are also heterotrophs because we cannot synthesize our own food. But plants are autotrophs because they have chlorophyll and they can synthesize their own food. So in fungus also, they are not autotrophic. They do not have cell wall. They do not have chloroplast. That's why in 5 kingdom classification, kingdom fungi is kept separate due to the absence of chlorophyll in it. And in this nutrition among fungi, let us understand the kinds of heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition in fungi. So we'll understand there are 3 modes of heterotrophic nutrition are there. What are the 3 modes of heterotrophic nutrition? One is they can be live as saprophytes. Okay, they can also be seen as symbionts. They can also live as parasites. So these are the 3 modes of heterotrophic nutrition in fungi. First, let us understand saprophytes. What are saprophytes? Have you seen the fungus will be growing on the dead and decaying matter, maybe on the rotten woods or sometimes on the old dead plants or remaining of any wood parts like that. We can see there will be fungus will be grown. So saprophytes means the same. Those fungus which absorb soluble organic matter. Those fungi which absorb soluble organic matter from dead substrates. Then it is called as saprophytes. Saprophytes means those fungus which absorb soluble organic matter from dead substrates. Then we call it as, it is called as saprophytes. What about symbionts? See, symbionts means, the word itself means that it is a mutual relationship, or it is a give and take relationship. Saprophytes, symbionts, and third type is the parasites. So symbionts means here both the organism will get beneficial. In the case of, there are two examples we'll study. First, let me write what are symbionts, in which the fungus, it's a kind of nutrition in which both organisms are in beneficial relationship. Both the organism will be having a beneficial relationship. Symbionts. See, both the organisms are mutually, they are interdependent, and it is here these symbionts are found in association with other organisms. So it is also, you can mention the organism, fungi which lives in association with other organism is called as symbionts. Example for this is, two examples are there, that is lichens, one example. Second example is mycorrhiza. Lichens, anyhow, there's one more topic is there at the end of this chapter. At that time, I will show the specimen of lichens. So lichens you might have seen on the trunks of wood or on the tree, where you can see some kind of white substance like that will be attached on their stem. Okay, on the bark and all you can see such, that is actually, it may look like a powder like structure, but actually there are two organisms are there, two species are there, that is algae and fungi. So lichens means it is a fungi in association with algae. It's called as lichens. Now I'll tell you how they both of them are symbiosis, because here algae will prepare the food, because fungus cannot synthesize their food because they do not have the chloroplast in them. But this algae can prepare the food, so fungus cannot. So algae will prepare the food, fungi will in turn provide the shelter to that. Mycorrhiza, it is a fungal association found in roots of higher plants. Like in cycas. Example, like in cycas. It is found in cycas. Then parasites. What are parasites? You know parasites. In the last class we have studied that fungus can also cause diseases in plants as well as animals. Very good example is that we have understood, that is white spot found on mustard leaves. And also many examples are there which causes some of the diseases in plants and animals. Okay, so parasites means the organisms, or you can also write it is that depend on other So we will add here fungus, because that we are studying only about fungus, right? So fungus that depend on other organism for their food and survival. Depend on other organism or other living plants and animals is called as parasites. What are the examples for parasites? I'll give you an example for that. It is an example is albugo. Albugo is an fungi which cause disease on mustard plant. Its albugo is an fungus which cause disease on mustard plant. Understood? So these are the types of heterotrophic nutrition in fungi. Hope you got cleared about this. Understood? So this kind of relationship is called as symbiosis. This is a saprophytes which depend on dead substrates, or it is absorb soluble organic matter from dead substrates. Here both the organisms will be in with a close relationship and both are benefited. Example, lichens and mycorrhiza. See, for this I'll give a trick to remember. Lichens, its algae is there, right? Algae means there, L is there. So we consider it is L for algae, and mycorrhiza is there, right? So it pronounced myco, the sound sounds more. So L for algae and this CH for myco, that means mycota, it means fungus. So both is together forms the lichens. Mycorrhiza means, you know, mycota, already I told you, mycota means kingdom fungi. The fungi, fungal, mycota means it refers to the fungus, right? Fungal association, okay? In roots, R for roots, HI for higher plants. So fungal association found in roots of higher plants. This is short trick just to remember the term, because usually these terms you may find difficult. Now at this stage I know it will be really complicated to remember these terms, and biology, it require in a lot of places there are some difficult terms are there, so you have to use some of the tricks to remember that makes your work easy. So I tell you, L in the lichens, you just relate with the algae, and Q for mycota, so fungal plus algae. It is a algae or fungus, it's a lichens. Mycota, it is fungal association found in roots of higher plants. Got cleared? Okay. Now let us understand reproduction in fungi. How the reproduction takes place in the fungi. Are you able to follow me, students? Please go through the textbook, read again and again, make your own points and write the points neatly, and make your concepts clear now itself. So next we will understand reproduction in fungi. So usually we know that reproduction in organisms can be of three types. Okay, what are three types? They can be vegetative, they can be sexual mode of reproduction, they can also undergo asexual mode of reproduction. Vegetative reproduction means plants will have a reproductive part and vegetative part. Reproductive part means the flower, fruit, all those are the reproductive part. Vegetative part, apart from flower and fruit, all other will be the vegetative part. If that part involves in the reproduction, we call it as vegetative reproduction. This can be seen in fungi also. So that's why it can vegetative reproduction also there. Then sexual reproduction means where there is a fusion of male and female gametes. Asexual reproduction means there is no formation of fusion of gametes, but there will be some kind of spores will be produced. That spores will help in the germination or formation of the new generation. So this reproduction in fungi, what are the three methods I said? There are three methods are there. One is vegetative method. Second type is asexual method. Third type is the sexual method of reproduction, or you can also write vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So how this vegetative reproduction takes place? what are the structures which responsible for the reproduction through vegetative methods. So what are those processes by which the fungus can reproduce? By vegetatively. Heard of fission? Multiple fission? Binary fission? So like that. One type is fission. Then second is fragmentation. A small part of its body will get detached and that will get developed into a new one. Fission, fragmentation and budding. Budding in Hydra. Have you heard of that? Budding. These are the three methods by which a fungus can reproduce vegetatively. Next, how a fungus can reproduce asexually. Asexually means what are the process or the structures by which they can reproduce asexually. Conidia, then what else structures are there? Conidia, zoospores and sporangiospores. Zoospores and sporangiospores. Then sexual method, how they produce sexually? It is by oospores, ascospores, and by the basidiospores. So fungus can reproduce either vegetatively, asexually, or by sexually. Vegetatively by method of fission, fragmentation, or budding. You know, budding in Hydra, if this is a Hydra, there is a external growth can be seen in Hydra and it can be get detached and that will develop into a new Hydra. So likewise, budding kind of reproduction can be seen in fungus. Then asexually, it is by conidia, sporangiospores and zoospores. And remember, all these spores, the various spores what is mentioned here are produced in a structure called as fruiting bodies. You know that fungus will have a structures like this, right? So all these structures, remember these are all microscopic structures. You cannot see with your own eyes. So if that fungus, if any structures, they'll have like this structure through which they'll have a structure which having the spores in it. So those structures are called as fruiting bodies. These are the hyphae or mycelium, and if they'll have some structure in which the spores are produced. The various spores are produced in a structure called as, in a distinct structure, it is called as fruiting bodies. Got clear? So here you can expect some of the questions related how the fungus reproduces vegetatively, or how the fungus can reproduce by asexual methods. Now let us understand how the sexual reproduction takes place in fungi. So we will understand steps in sexual reproduction in fungi. There are 3 steps are there. How many steps are there? There are 3 steps are there in the reproduction of fungi through sexual method. So what are those 3 methods? The first step is, it is plasmogamy. Okay, first step is plasmogamy. Second step is karyogamy. Third step is, what's the third step? It is meiosis. So these are the events or steps in sexual reproduction in fungi, or the sexual cycle in fungi involves 3 steps. That is, first is plasmogamy, second is karyogamy, and third step is the meiosis. First, let us understand what is plasmogamy. Usually, 2 hyphae, Okay, consider this is a one fungi having the nucleus in it and another hyphae. Okay, so they will produce the gametes, right? Now we are understanding about the sexual reproduction. So they will produce the gametes. Okay, the gametes let us consider in this form. One is a male gamete and other one will be the female gamete. Now first the protoplasm fusion will occur. Okay, a sexual reproduction already I told you, where there is a fusion of male and female gametes occur, that is a sexual reproduction. So here in the first step the fusion of protoplasm occurs. See, a protoplasm means inside a cell we have two regions. If this is a cell, inside it is a nucleus and all other organelles will be here. Okay, I am not drawing exactly. So this region is called as nucleus. Now they'll have a cell wall. Okay, apart from this cell, this region where all other cellular organelles are located, apart from nucleus, that region is called as protoplasm. Okay, the fusion of protoplasm, the fusion between the fusion between two motile and the fusion between two, that means two gametes, in that one will be motile between a motile and non-motile gametes. Why it is a motile? What is motile first? Tell me that. Can you know what? Can you answer me what is a motile and non-motile? I know if you answer also I can't hear you, but motile meaning is that it is motility, having the movement. So usually gametes, in the case of sexual reproduction, male gametes will be motile whereas female gametes will be immotile. This is a usual cases which can be seen. So here also in the first step of sexual cycle, first the fusion between a motile and non-motile gametes occurs. Then in karyogamy, so what is karyogamy? It is a fusion between the nucleus. Two haploid nucleus. Okay, the fusion between two haploid nucleus results in the formation of fusion between two nuclei results in the formation of, how it results? It results in the formation of zygote, right? Whenever the two nucleus, during this sexual reproduction, the two gametes fuse together, they forms a zygote. Later zygote develops into embryo and the further it develops into a new organism. So even though this fungus is a microscopic, they are unicellular and some of them are multicellular, but they have this higher kind of sexual reproduction which involves these three steps. In the first step, only the fusion occurs between the two motile and non-motile gametes, where only the protoplasm will be fused together. Later, plasmogamy occurs when mating occurs between two compatible haploid hyphae comes together. Okay, why it is haploid? Always the gametes are haploid. Okay, so fusion between haploid motile and non-motile gametes. Students, you may find difficult to understand these terms. These terms you are going to study again, and some of the terms if I go to explain, that will delay our portion. So I am not explaining. Haploid means usually there is a half set of chromosomes. Diploid means double. So we are 46, in the gametes and all, they'll have only the haploid set of chromosomes. Okay. Then that we call it as haploid. So here first the fusion between two motile and non-motile gametes can occur. That means two compatible hyphae will come together, and next which we'll see fusion of two nuclei. Okay, so we cannot say it is nuclei, two haploid nuclei. So when two protoplasm comes together, then this nucleus also fuse together and forms a diploid condition. So that is karyogamy. Next, meiosis. You know that in the sexual reproduction, the division which occurs is only the meiosis, which is reduction division. So what has to be happen here? Now zygote, what is formed there, undergoes meiosis. So when meiosis occurs, what happen? It will results in the haploid spores, okay, resulting in haploid spores. Students, one more thing you remember, this division, cell division is of two types, mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis occurs in vegetative cells. Meiosis occurs in the reproductive cells. Meiosis is a reduction division where 2n becomes n. Okay, so that's why I said zygote undergoes meiosis. Actually it was 2n. When it undergoes meiosis, it becomes n. So it undergoes meiosis resulting in the haploid spores. Now, this is in the usual condition, but in some exceptional cases there. We know fungus are made, 4 kinds of fungus is there. We are going to understand that about the classes of fungi. In some classes, okay, they having a intervening stage. That means intermediate stage is there. That is, we call it that phase as dikaryophase, or that condition is called as dikaryon. So what is dikaryon or what is dikaryophase, we will understand now. See, dikaryon means it is 2n per cell. Usually a cell can have only one nucleus, right? But in this exceptional case, they will have 2 nuclei. Why that 2 nuclei came here? As you know that once that nuclei fuse together, they forms diploid. Next they will undergo meiosis and forms the haploid nuclei. But what is the exception here? In this fungus, in 2 classes, that is in basidiomycetes and as well as in the ascomycetes. These are the 2 classes. They have subclasses under fungi. In that, only these 2 will show this condition of dikaryophase. In basidiomycetes, there is a intervening stage. That means this, after reaching to this stage, they will not go to the next step. Okay, they will remain in that 2 nuclei per cell. That means in that condition, they will remain for a long period. When the condition is favorable, then only they will undergo for the meiosis and results in the haploid spore. So for some extent, this fungus will remain in that condition. That condition is called as dikaryon, and that phase is called as dikaryophase. That phase is called as dikaryophase. So what is that dikaryophase? In some fungi, the fusion of 2 haploid cells immediately results in the diploid cells. I said already. In some fungi, the fusion of 2 haploid nuclei results in the zygote. Zygote next undergoes meiosis and produces haploid spores. But in this case, okay, where an intervening dikaryotic stage, that is 2 nuclei per cell. Suppose if you consider this is the hyphae of the fungi, then there will be 2 nuclei can be seen. Okay, such a condition is called as dikaryophase or dikaryon. So it is found in ascomycetes and basidiomycetes. Okay, where there will be 2 nuclei per cell can occur. Okay, so So this is an exceptional case.